To call the meeting to order. Just some housekeeping first. Residents, everybody's aware of the new situation surrounding COVID-19. Residents are encouraged to go to the government website, gov.nl.ca, or the town's website, placentia.ca. The town also has a link to the government's website if you visit the town's website. COVID-19 is surrounding Newfoundland and certainly involved, and has everybody running with questions. As the situation evolves, the town is also going to change, make recommendations, and we will have to evolve with it. So our businesses within the community are doing likewise. You will see changes in operations as recommended by Health Canada, or Health Service, or the Government of Newfoundland. As new information is available, right, it will be posted to the websites. There are a lot of concerns. We encourage people to visit those websites for the factual information. There's a lot of innuendos. Those websites contain the facts, and the facts is what you need to be looking at today. I encourage anyone who has been exposed to follow the recommendations set out by health officials and to be safe. Thank you all. Now I ask for a motion for the adoption of the agenda dated March 17, 2020. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Collins Power. All in favour? Motion carried. At this point in time, I also like to mention that Councillor Hines is unavailable tonight in person, but she's here via teleconference. And Councillor Smith is home. She's absent due to other matters, personal matters. Next, the adoption of the minutes dated February 18, 2020. As for motion, moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Collins Power. All in favour? Motion carried. Business arising. Any business arising from the minutes? We'll move on to the action sheet. Any questions in relation to the action sheet? Move on to the Executive Committee report. The Executive Committee had several meetings, March the 5th, 2020, and again, on March the 12th, 2020. In attendance, myself as chair, Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Kay Smith, Mary Green, acting CAO, and Mary Green recording. The Executive Committee recommends the following. Amend motion number 20-056. Be resolved that the motion to approve the reallocation of funding in the amount of $486,814 from the Dumble Waterline Project Phase 1, project number 18-00042, completed in 2019, is adopted. The additional funds will be used for multi-year capital works project number 190015, lift station repairs, and the SCADA system, APMCW number 20271. As for motion, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Motion carried. Motion, the payment of Patterson Steel Products Limited in the amount of $3,517.85 for the wave wall repairs, which work was completed recently. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. And motion to award the copier lease contract to Pinnacle Office Solutions in the amount of $141 monthly. As for motion, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour?
This is Councillor Hines. I know that you had a couple of meetings here that's in executive package that we were sent out, but I don't see those updated on the actual reports. So I think our package needs to be updated, just so noted, just so that you know that I'm not looking at that actual information that you just read out.
Okay? Any other questions on the motion?
I just do it and I'm okay.
Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, again, there was a March the 17th, 2020, the Executive Committee report, and we were dealing with changes to the onset of the coronavirus protocol. As residents will be aware, excuse me, the town initiated first, we put up a barrier wall to try to protect staffing as well as residents from any potential hazard. Following this, the town is limited front counter service until appointment only. There will be no walk-in traffic until counter service only is removed. Anybody wants to pay can still do so through the town's website or through the town's their banking and other processes that used to take place. If you need or determine that you need to speak with somebody directly from the town, set up a meeting. There is a process to do that, and reach out to the town office and you will be directed accordingly. Thank you all for your patience in this matter. Any other questions? Give the finance report.
Sure. Finance Committee met on March 9th. In attendance was myself, Councillor Hines, and Councillor Kate Reid as the chair. Ms. Green is the manager of finance and acting CAO, and Ms. Smith was the reporter. The finance made the following recommendations. Number one, the council approved the accounts payable transaction journal dated March 6, 2020 in the amount of $44,484.46. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the check register for the operating account in the amount of $119,974.94 for checks number 028393 to 028459. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Just to let you know, there was no special accounts check registered for the month of March for 2020, so there was no checks issued during this period. Number four, council approved the visa statement expenditure.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Council approved the payment of invoice 2234 from NJ Hickey Construction in the amount of $2,024 for emergency water repairs in Balance Pad. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the payment of invoice number 9454708919 from Acklands Granger Inc. in the amount of $3,126.97 for flow test, biannual compressor service and air samples. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the payment of invoice number 298722 from Calagro Insurance in the amount of $2,513.90 for pollution liability insurance and tax on insurance premium. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
The council approved the payment of invoice number 569469 from Newfoundland Exchequer in the amount of $17,830.75 for ice control materials for December 2019. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved an adjustment to the account of MCA0001 in the amount of $380 for water and sewer tax on an occupied land with only an accessory structure on it. The vacant land and water sewer of $100 will be applied to the account. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, on that, there's a correction here on the number. He said MCA, it's MCFAW001, just for correction.
MCFAW001. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved an adjustment to account number KERRT003 in the amount of $312 as the properties are to be combined. Therefore, to only have one charge of $70 to reflect the vacant land water tax. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the adjustment to account KELLP002 in the amount of $380.
Motion carried.
The council approved an adjustment to account number TRAVJ006 in the amount of $380 for water and sewer tax on an occupied land with only an accessory structure on it. The vacant land and water sewer tax of $100 will be applied to the account. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the purchase of 2 trucks for public works from Terra Nova Motors valued at $49,156.75 and $39,312.75 to be financed as per the budget.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Council approved the purchase of 70 chairs and a dolly for the Art Centre at the cost of $4,811.45 from Global Industries as budgeted.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Number 16, we don't need, unfortunately. The manager prepared a financial summary from 2017, which was circulated and reviewed. We've done the request on the tax adjustments and the donation for the Legion. Being in the past, we haven't done that.
Okay, just to outline as well that there was some requests for tax adjustments and some throughout the financial report. There was numerous tax adjustments being made in motions, and it was relating to the new water and sewer tax for vacant property. However, if there's residential houses or anything on or properties have houses, the municipality tax states a council of a municipality served by a water system, sewage system, or a water and sewage system shall impose upon the owner of the real property located inside or outside the municipality that is connected or capable of being serviced by that system a tax to be known as the water and sewage tax. So if you have a property on the tax, a residential house that's being capable of doing it, the tax has to be applied as outlined by us by government. Any other questions?
Mayor, I'm just wondering if this, if we can discuss here and do our motion around our discount period and.
I have there as well, yes, I have it for,
All right.
yes, for short. Good.
Okay.
I missed it on the other sheet. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Move on to the Public Works and Safety Committee report.
Our committee met on March the 10th. In attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Collins, Deputy Mayor Pearson was absent due to a personal commitment. With regard to staff in attendance, we had Anne Green, our Public Works Superintendent, and Catherine Smith was on board. We have a few recommendations. Our first one is that the committee recommends that council approve an application for Evan Pittman to construct a shed on property located at 6 Brecken Place Extension. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Power, second. Councillor Collins, any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The committee recommends that council approve an application for Terry and Donna Griffin to construct a shed on property located at 275 Fons Path. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Powers, second by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The committee recommends that council approve an application for Leadwell's General Repairs Limited to operate a business in the town of Placentia. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Powers, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The committee recommends that council approve Crown Land application number 154740 from Terry McGee.
Is that part of, is that a, what do you call it, a remote site, or is that in the watershed area?
Residential.
Residential.
It's not in the watershed, my understanding, correct?
It's not in the watershed?
There was research done, and I think it was identified that it was in research, in the watershed.
Oh, just clarification.
Yep.
Move with mover and a seconder.
I moved, yeah.
All in favour? Motion carried.
The committee recommends that council approve an application from Cal Fabrication Structural to occupy building on Charter Avenue in Argentia, pending confirmation of Government Services Center approval. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Powers, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The committee recommends that council approve permit application processing policy as presented. So moved.
Have we got the policy?
Oh, what has it been?
I haven't seen it. Is there?
I don't remember if I think that's.
Oh, yeah, it's the pack, was it in the package?
I don't know if it was actually, yeah.
Can we ask to defer that until
Maybe
it's
we should, yeah.
right?
Second.
Presented them to councillors for
Yes.
review?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The other two were done.
Gotta do it, okay.
Okay.
And then, that's about it. We have, yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of requests regarding bus shelters, of course, now at school, regarding snow clearing at bus shelters. So, you know, our public works department has been working very hard, you know, prioritizing those and trying to get them cleared away. And of course, now unfortunately, school's closed, but, we'll just continue, public works will continue again to keep our roads and areas safe for our residents. So that's about it for me.
And the Battery Road request was to remove the one-way sign. But again, because of the nature and the narrowness of the road to allow two-way traffic, for safety reasons, the
Yes.
road will remain a one-way street.
Yes.
Also, just quick clarification on the information on the responding app. Did you reach out, we're reaching out to the fire chief and asking for a demo? Is that what we're doing?
We are, yes, I don't know if our superintendent got a chance to reach out to the fire chief yet, but now, given, I guess, the pandemic that's on the go, probably have to wait a little bit for that, or maybe set up like this, so we'll certainly be getting together as a committee to look more into that before we move forward.
Okay, any other questions for Public Works? We'll move on to the Culture, Tourism, Beautification Committee.
Cultural Tourism and Beautification Committee met on March 5th. There was a couple of recommendations, and one of them was just approved by Finance. Committee recommends that council approve the purchase of 70 chairs and a dollar for the Art Center for the cost of $4,811.45 from Global Industries as budgeted.
That motion was already
Yes.
accepted.
Yeah. Also, the committee recommends that council approve the proceed with the resale of 70 current chairs with Public Works upon sale, upon receipt of new chairs.
Okay, so I don't know if there's a motion to need to do that. Is it part of it surplus equipment? Or we need a motion, surplus equipment. Obviously, I believe at the last meeting, there was a motion for the Public Works to identify our surplus equipment and start a process to dispose of it. Okay, so Mr. Green, can you ensure that this is added to your process?
Just as for some topic conversation, we were going over some other things there. The comment issue was we're still waiting to hear from the Archbishop on meetings and that. He's very quick with his replies back to Ms. Power. So anyway, hopefully now in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to set up a meeting for that. Also, myself and Councillor Smith and Councillor Hines attended the MNL conference in, the HNL conference in Corner Brook this year, and I will say it was very important. I don't think there's anything else there. That's about it for the committee.
Recreation Committee report. Deputy Mayor.
Recreation Committee met on March the 11th. There was myself, Councillor Hines, and Councillor Collins Power in attendance. Mr. Pike was Manager Recreation Community Programming, was the resource person, and Ms. Smith was the recorder. There was no recommendations, just a few things for public information. The internet connection was upgraded at the arena. The people that are in it now, by all means, I've heard that it's much better, easier to get on, much more accessible throughout the whole building. So there were some things put in place for that. I'm not sure about the nets if they were purchased after, but there was a set of nets to be purchased. Right now, that was a $600 set, so I'm not sure if they did get purchased after or not because of course, the arena was shut down. The mini splits went out for tender. We got a new skate sharpener, and by all accounts, it's a very good skate sharpener that unfortunately we never got to use. But next year, certainly, I can see within a year and probably a year and a half that will be paid off. I'd see more revenue on the recreation side next year because of that. And we look within our budget to find that, so we cut in other areas. So we'll still maintain our budget and should be able to bring in more revenue come September, October when the ice goes down. The Winter Carnival had great reviews. There has been ideas kicked around for next year. I think next year is the 25th anniversary of Winter Carnival, I'm correct?
Yes.
25 years, so we'll be looking to do something next year and looking for some planning ahead on that. We discussed that. Paddy's Day, a couple of things there on that. I guess the only other thing to probably talk about is the unfortunate events of the town having to shut down the arena. I think the good thing about it is council moved quickly and decisively to actually shut down the arena as quickly as possible when this first started. I think we were one of the first arenas actually to be shut down right after, as soon as Hockey NL announced that they were cancelling their Island plan. We, right after that, shut down the arena because of the gathering and what the seriousness of the situation was. It's unfortunate that the kids who lost around Newfoundland this year. That was a very unfortunate event. And even right now, I guess, with the banquets and everything on hold with gatherings, even that part of it. So I know there was a lot of unhappy kids that time. There's probably unhappy referee too, because I do a bit of refereeing for the at the end that way. And I guess I wish them all luck in their future endeavors as they move forward. And maybe some hockey will still be fired. But other than that, that's it.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Next, we'll move on to Community Engagement and Communications Committee.
Yes, hello everyone, it's Jane home. I'm still here. We met on March 9th, 7 p.m. I was in attendance as the chair. Rhonda Power was the manager of tourism, marketing and communications. Councillor Jamie Lee Fitzpatrick and Catherine Smith was the recorder. Councillor Kay Smith had a previous commitment. We don't have any recommendations at this time. Well, we have lots of recommendations at this time, but nothing formally to bring to council. Again, so many things have changed since we had our meeting that a lot of this stuff is important, but not a hot topic right now. A few of those things, which would be our municipal highlights, were put out, and we would advise people to go online and look at those and for the next update. They may change a little because our attention is basically on the COVID-19 and reacting to what needs to come our way for that. There's a housing coalition. Myself, Councillor Smith, and the manager of culture and tourism beautification have attended different meetings. I do believe Councillor Smith is not going to be attending now, and because it's in the early stages of development, we don't really know if the town is going to be sending representatives until they have some more information on the structure of the group and they validate their memberships. It is an important area. We want to make sure that if we are representing the town, we do so with a firm engagement part. The Age Friendly Committee has met again. It's scheduled for June 26th and 27th, and to plan for a successful event this year. I think they are piggybacking with a couple of other events, so people aren't, both the volunteers and people attending wouldn't be stretched. Stay tuned on all of that, because we don't know how all this is going to be affected. We also have a community consultation session scheduled for April 8th, and it's based around the wild rose and beautification. We will be going to be doing, we're actually going to be utilizing a list of residents that we're going to invite, and this still can happen. We just may be doing it online instead of in person. And we are actually going to be looking at getting advice from all these fantastic gardeners and stuff who have won awards to give us, to kind of help us out and give us their insight on how to make the town beautiful, as well as a few slips of flowers would go straight there. So actually, it's an engagement piece for most of the town. Again, our communications engagement has changed a little bit. What we're putting up on our website is mostly related and directing to the most in tune and fluid website, and that is the COVID-19 website of the government. And it's changing so fast that we don't want to have our communication responsible for it, because we'd never keep up with it. So our recommendation is, as community engagement, is to direct everyone to the well-maintained government website. So hopefully we do get somewhat back to normal in the next couple of months, and we won't stop us. It'll just change how we do things, like me attending this meeting in my living room.
Thank you, Councillor Hines. Any questions on community engagement? We'll move on to the Economic Development Committee. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
So the Economic Development Committee met on February 26th. Myself as chair, Councillor Collins Power, and Councillor Collins was unable to attend due to a previous engagement. This was a meeting that we invited key stakeholders who support economic development within the municipality to the meeting. This was the first meeting that we had, and it was a very good meeting. So we went through what the purpose of bringing together the committee was. There was a very positive and receptive response from all of the stakeholders, economic development stakeholders that attended around the table. And we did share a little bit about what's going on in each of our organizations, and we also committed to meeting on a quarterly basis. So the next meeting is scheduled for May, and we will have to revisit that depending on where we are with the current situation. And like Councillor Hines has said, maybe we do that not in person, maybe that's a virtual meeting, so that we can still keep moving forward different things. And I know that the mayor will be putting motions on the table shortly around some economic initiatives to alleviate some of the pressures facing residents and businesses during this time. And I'm very pleased that we as a council will be putting forward some of those to alleviate some of the stresses that are being faced.
Thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick. And obviously the committee was a new committee, and you had some legwork to do. And just as we start to get on the go, and it's great to see that we've had the community stakeholders. You had a meeting. It's good with the PADA, the CNA, the Chamber of Commerce, and others. And it's unfortunate that this latest COVID-19 is going to have some little hindrance, but I'm sure with your ingenuity down there, you're going to be able to make this continue and work and try to keep promoting the area, which is really great.
Well, I think it's actually a good time, because now all of us can work together to see exactly how we can support our businesses within this current environment, which is now needed more than ever.
this time. Exactly, and again, thank you very much for your starting the moving, and hopefully we can get a lot more moving forward. Good. And also as well, I guess, around the table, because of your experience and knowledge out there as well, maybe we're going to be offering some stuff on the COVID-19 through the start. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the Economic Development Committee? We had some correspondence. Any questions relating to correspondence? I see rate at 2021 scheduling rates. Does anybody notice, is there an increase or is it change? Or obviously, I guess Marine Atlantic's the whole operation will be up in there now as part of COVID-19, but right.
Increase in commercial rates, I believe. Was an increase in commercial, I believe.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you all. So we'll go around our table as we usually do, and obviously, Councillor Collins.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do have some concerns with around this COVID-19 and our community, the businesses in our community and people's transactions of money. And I noticed in some of the stores that they're not accepting cash at this time. They're only accepting either a credit card or a debit card. And I've wondered, like, and I understand no cash could be accepted, but there is people in our community who don't carry debit cards or credit cards, and I'm just wondering, like, what would be the plan? Because money is a government note, it's a legal note, and I'm just, I was wondering about it, but Councillor Fitzpatrick had put me a little bit at ease, so if Councillor Fitzpatrick would like to give a little scenario on the reason, and hopefully it'll help everybody understand as to why there's no actual money transactions at some of the stores.
So one of the things around money currency is the provincial government doesn't regulate the form of payment that businesses can accept. That's solely at the discretion of each of the businesses. And my understanding is that the form of cash payment is discretionary in some of the businesses, and it's no different than if you went into a business and you wanted to pay by a credit card and they didn't accept a credit card. It's just the opposite, that they're not accepting cash at this point. And it's mostly due to, it seems, the safety and health of transmitting the virus on these things.
Thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick. It's also been a change because even without COVID-19, there are and have been businesses now that are choosing not to accept cash. Obviously, because of security measures and other within the business and operation themselves. And I think it's going to be seen as a way of the times, and COVID-19 is probably certainly not there. The cash is going to become, probably a thing of the past. So yes, we would encourage, the banking systems do have support staff there that'll help you use the bank card if you don't have a bank card. I know that when the ATM banking first came out, bank tellers were actually helping and assist you. So by all means, I think that somebody has this, they should try to set up with the bank to actually get it, right? With the part of cash, the other thing was always somebody will take your cash. So maybe unfortunate that one business may not take, but I'm sure there's probably hopefully other businesses around that will take the cash and help you through the situation. Any other comments?
No, that's it.
Okay. That's it, Councillor Collins. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
The only thing I want to speak to is the current situation that we're in, and that it's unprecedented and it's rapidly evolving. It's changing, not only on a daily basis, it's evolving on an hourly basis. And I think for the residents and businesses within our community, that following the Chief Medical Officer's advice, there's a daily update given every day by the Premier, the Chief Medical Officer, as well as the Minister of Health and Community Services, and listen to what is being said, what is being suggested, recommended, around the measures that they have put in place. There are a number of special measures that have been put in place, and that can be found on the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador's website. Councillor Hines had talked about the updates that we're doing on our app and in our telephone that we send out. For the most up-to-date information with respect to this virus, please visit the Government of Newfoundland website. There's a link right on the front page that will give you a lot of information. For anyone that's having issues or concerns around self-isolation, so at the present time, self-isolation is for any individual that comes into this province, whether by ferry or whether by flight, aircraft, or marine vessel, that they are required to self-isolate. This is not to confine people. This is for the health and safety of all residents in our municipality as well as the province. If anyone has any issues or concerns relating to self-isolation, the Canadian Red Cross is an avenue that can help. They have a helpline specifically set up for that, and the number is 1-800-863-6582, and they're available 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily for anyone to call. If you have a concern about somebody that you feel is not in compliance with some of the orders that are put in place, such as self-isolation, whether that's an individual or whether you have a concern around a business that's not acting appropriately and acting in contradiction to some of the orders that are placed underneath the Public Health and Protection and Promotion Act, there is a form on the website on the government website, where you can report those instances, and this goes to a team that will follow up on that. If you have any specific health information that you are requiring, so for example, if you're an individual that is supposed to self-isolate and you have questions around health issues or health concerns that you have, there is the 811 site. You can call 811. However, please understand that the volume of calls that is being received by that, my understanding is that it's very high, as you can imagine. There's also a website that you can go to, and it's the 811 helpline website. So if you have symptoms based on you re-entering the province, you can go to this website, and there's a self-assessment tool. Before calling 811, it is strongly recommended that you complete the self-assessment tool prior to calling 811. Like I said before, with anyone arriving from outside Newfoundland and Labrador, it is very, very important, based on the direction from the Chief Medical Officer and the direction given by both our federal and provincial governments, that you self-isolate. This is a virus that spreads very rapidly, and unless everybody does their part and takes responsibility to maintain the orders that are being given by both the Premier and Chief Medical Officer, we're going to be in a lot of trouble if we don't start to follow these orders. The self-isolation is one piece of it. Even if you don't have symptoms, then it is strongly advised that social distancing. As you can see us here tonight around the council table, we are practicing social distancing to hold our meeting and address some of the issues that council needed to address. I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Deputy Mayor.
No, not tonight. I think Councillor Fitzpatrick just summed it all up pretty good.
Councillor Hines. Almost.
So I I have stuff, don't worry.
I almost missed you, sorry.
No. To reiterate the point of Councillor Fitzpatrick, we're all kind of in a new way of, can everyone hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we're all in a new way of operating in our daily lives. And in that daily lives now, we have kids on top of us who are usually in school. And they're kind of feeding into this, even if they're not saying a lot, they're kind of having to deal with us. And lots of us don't know, are anxious enough without having to explain it all to our kids. There's lots of help out there. Right after the meeting, they'll be posted on the Facebook site an item on supporting children. And it's all about Newfoundland-based information and mental health and addictions systems navigator. And we have and of course the national ones of the Kids Help Phone. Bridge the Gap is a great initiative in Newfoundland and Labrador. And please, you're not alone. You can call someone. There's 1-800 numbers. There's a couple of websites you can look at, and for everything that you see on Facebook that makes you nervous, you really should go to one of the websites that helps you deal with it all and helps you benefit, helps you grow, and pick up a book and read it and wash your hands. So another bit of local news, I read this evening that Foodland, our local Foodland, is you can call them and sort out. I don't know the details on it, but you can call them and they will collect your groceries and you can just pick them up at the door if you were not wanting to go into the shop. And I'm not sure exactly how this works, but you can certainly call the Foodland number, and I'm sure Jamie and one of them can certainly explain it to you when you call over. But that's a good service to be able to have. And just take care. Reach out if you feel lonely, if you feel upset or anxious. Just take a few deep breaths and call a loved one on the phone. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Councillor Hines. Councillor Collins-Power.
I just have a couple of items, and they're mostly related to COVID-19, but again, Jamie Lee, Councillor Fitzpatrick summed up everything, as well as Councillor Hines. I was going to mention about the bridging the gap. It's certainly a time when your mental health is important. I know lately, maybe not tonight, but we have had really good sunny weather, so if you can social distance, maybe get out, go for a walk, clear your mind, that kind of thing, and certainly the children are kids out there and students are certainly important right now as well, because they're home with their parents, I'm sure, and there's a lot of stress there. So I just had a couple of things, again, with the community. A reminder, someone asked me a question about seniors in the community. I just want to put it out there, similar to our Snowmageddon. If you have a senior or a neighbor, certainly keep in mind safety, but if you can reach out to them by phone, maybe you can run and grab their groceries for them and leave them on their step. Anybody doesn't have a vehicle these days, I'm sure it's hard to get around. So just keep your seniors and neighbors in mind, again, with social distancing as well, in the back of your mind. Also wanted to mention that I did get an email from our fire department, from the chief, and I just wanted to reassure our residents that they certainly are putting measures in place to protect our residents and keep our fire department and volunteers safe as well, along with the measures they already have in place. But he's listed a bunch of them, which I won't list here, but just so our residents are reassured. The fire hall has suspended all visits right now. They've also suspended fire prevention inspections. They have more gloves in their vehicles, and they've limited their Tuesday night training sessions to less people. So they certainly are taking care of our residents. But on the same note, I read an article as well about gas storage, and I know it's great when gas prices are low, good and bad. So just wanted to make our residents aware that if you're storing gas, make sure it's in proper containers. We don't need that added stress on our fire department. We certainly don't want to see any disasters happening in our community. So be sure that if you are one of those people who are stocking up, be safe about it, and keep in mind, we want to be safe and get through all this and see each other on the other side. So I just want to make our residents aware of that as well.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Collins-Power. Okay, there was a couple more matters. Obviously, it was mentioned earlier, and so I've missed it. In light of the fact of the recent situation, Council again, we're changing, and we have to change and evolve with it. Our discount period is normally for seniors, or actually the whole discount period is normally March 31st. So Council has made a decision that we're going to extend that, as well as with seniors. The discount normally with seniors is June. We're looking to extend it, and interest is usually applied on accounts after the discount period is over. So with that in mind, council has been discussing this, and I'd like to get a motion to extend the 10% discount period on all current taxes paid in full to by May the 1st instead of March 31st. And to extend the discount period for seniors from June the 30th to July the 31st. And that no interest will be charged on 2020 residents or business accounts up to July the 1st of 2020. So business and residents, interest will not be charged in the accounts unless they are not paid after July 1st, 2020. As for motion, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second by the Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carried. And again, as COVID-19 continues, changes are going to occur and recommendations from council, and we have to change with it as well. I encourage everybody again to monitor the government site, the website, and stay informed with the facts. There's a lot of innuendos, there's a lot of non-factual information out there, and I would encourage people, if you're concerned, the government website do have the facts, and there's certainly avenues there for you to pursue and ask questions of any questions or concerns. Mentioned as Councillor Collins, we are a town with a high senior population, and I would encourage residents to reach out, display that Newfoundland hospitality. If you see a neighbour or a senior or a neighbour, anybody there, reach out just to check to see if they're okay. Maybe if you're going to the store, you may be able to help and assist them, cut down on the traffic as well, and pick up some items here as well. Right? As new information is available, again, everybody, I encourage to monitor the site, review the sites, and stick with the facts. Thank you all residents. We are going to be trying to communicate as information comes available to us, but obviously the government website will be the one. Council has initiated some changes, as Councillor Collins Power recommended with the, mentioned with the fire department. Fire department, we have 32 members. They're not all training at one time. They're not responding at one time. We have set them up into groups, as well as we've done the same with the Public Works Department. So our operations are going to be somewhat hindered and changed. However, we're doing that to protection of the workers, as well as to try to provide the service and continue to provide the service to residents. Such as our Public Works, we have two different groups, split into groups, and operating out of two different areas of the towns. So I ask people and residents to bear with us. There's going to be some slight changes, but again, we need to do this here in order to do our part to try to prevent the spread of this. So thank you all again. As for motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second by Councillor Collins Power. Meeting adjourned.